boys and girls. I'm back for your last story time. And this one I thought I'd read you a funny story called No More Jumping on the Bed by Ted Arnold. Maybe you like jumping on your bed and your mom's always saying, "Stop jumping on the bed, no more jumping on the bed." So let's see what happens when he jumps on his bed. Okay. In his room near the top floor of a tall apartment building, Walter was getting ready for bed. His father said, "If I told you once, I told you a million times. No jumping on the bed. One day it's going to crash right through the floor. Now lie down and go to sleep." You heard that before? Walter plopped down on his pillow and squeezed his eyes closed. "Good night," said his father, turned off the light, and pulled the door almost shut. The room was dark and quiet, except for a soft thump, thump, thump coming from the room above. "That's Delbert upstairs," thought Walter. What do you think Delbert's doing? Jumping on his bed. He switched on his lamp. If Delbert can jump on his bed, so can I. Walter jumped higher and higher until his hair brushed the ceiling. When he landed, the mattress creaked, the floor cracked, and his whole bed tipped up sideways. Then down through the floor went Walter, bed and all. Uh-oh. He crashed through the floor. Let's see where he goes. Walter's bedroom was directly above Miss Hattie's dining room. She was quite surprised when Walter landed in her spaghetti and meatballs. "I was not expecting company for dinner," she mumbled, with a mouthful of meatballs. So he landed the apartment below him, right on top of her, and she was eating spaghetti and meatballs. Oh dear. Said Walter, "spaghetti is my favorite." But he didn't have a chance to eat. His bed smashed through the table and kept right on crashing down through the floor. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, the spaghetti, bed and all. So he went through her apartment too. Mr. Matty didn't even notice a bed coming through his ceiling, and a meatball bounced off his head. Miss Matty landed in his lap, and Walter splashed into his aquarium. "I already had one bath tonight," said Walter. He wanted to watch monsters on TV, but his bed crashed through the floor and took the TV with it. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Mr. Matty, and the TV, the spaghetti, bed and all. So this guy gets plopped with a meatball. He lands in the aquarium. She lands on his lap, and they go through his floor too. Oh dear. Walter's Aunt Batty had just moved in, and she was still unpacking when Miss Hattie, Mr. Matty, and a dripping wet Walter tumbled through the ceiling right into a box with her stamp collection. Oh no, everybody lands in all these stamps. Walter burst through the bottom of the box and down through the floor. Aunt Batty soon followed. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Mr. Matty, Aunt Batty, the stamps, the TV, the spaghetti, the bed, and all. Now where are they going? Patty and Natty had worked for days building a house of blocks. Afraid that Fatty Cat might knock it over, they shooed her out, and then the upstairs neighbor came through the ceiling. "Excuse us," said Walter, "we won't be staying long." And then his bed crashed through the floor. Oh, and they knocked her block house over. Oh dear. They thought the cat would knock it over, and here Walter and his bed knocked it over. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Mr. Matty, Aunt Batty, Patty, Natty, Fatty Cat, and the blocks, the stamps, the TV, the spaghetti, and the bed and all. The last thing Mr. Harrity expected to see was a bed coming through his studio ceiling, followed by nearly everyone in the building. "If I knew you wanted to see my paintings," he said, "I would have tidied up a bit." So they crash into this guy's art studio. Oh dear. And they get paint all over. Then his floor caved in, and everyone followed Walter's bed down through the hole. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Miss Mattie, Aunt Batty, Patty, Matty, Fatty Cat, Mr. Harrity. Cans of paint, the blocks, the stamps, the TV, the spaghetti, and the bed and all. Oh my goodness. Maestro Franklin-Ledyard and his string quartet were astonished by the colorful crowd that dropped in unannounced. "I love an audience," he said. But when paint splattered everywhere, the maestro wished this audience would leave and take his string quartet with them. Oh dear. Now where they end up. The maestro's floor was also the basement. Okay, so they were at the bottom. It was dark as midnight down there. Walter squeezed his eyes closed and fell through the darkness until he landed on something soft. He opened his eyes and everything was in place. And outside the door his mother and father were talking quietly. "Phew! No more jumping on the bed for me," said Walter as he laid back down to sleep. What do you think happened? Was he really jumping on the bed? Did he really crash through all those floors? What do you think? Let's see if you're right. Suddenly, he heard a creak. The ceiling cracked, and down came Delbert, bed and all. Down, down fell Delbert. So I think maybe he had dreamed that all. He was laying here dreaming all of that, and he woke up. And then maybe he fell back to sleep. And now he's dreaming that Delbert's falling through the ceiling. So maybe you shouldn't jump on your bed. The bad dreams of falling through the ceiling and all that craziness happening. That's a funny book. I like that book. I like reading it every year to the kids. Did you like that book? Maybe it's a good one. We have it in our library at school. Maybe you would like to take it out sometime when we get back to school. That's a fun one to read and look at all the pictures carefully. I hope you enjoyed that one. Well, that was our last book of the year, and it's summertime. Woohoo! We get to go out and play. It's beautiful out. Please be safe and stay healthy. And please read. You can go online. I gave you the Tumble Books website, so you can use that all summer long to go on and read books with Mom and Dad. Keep practicing. You want to be good readers in 2nd grade. You really do. You want to keep practicing your reading and read some fun books. And also I have my on the website I have my emoji library, and I'm going to put some other fun ones up that have lots of other books, okay, that you can click on and have read to you. I'm going to put that up today. There's me camping, there's me doing science experiments, there's all kinds of fun pages. Okay, so you can go on there, the Google Classroom. That's what I was trying to think. Okay, boys and girls, I miss you very much. Here's a hug and a kiss for me, mwah, for the summer, and I hope to see you back in the fall. Bye-bye.